Hello, and welcome back to Blue Collar Watches. I had ordered this watch before I actually bought my real Seiko Monster. This is the Tandorio Monster. I got this watch, and hold on to your hats. This is the cheapest Tandorio I've ever bought. This was $61. It's a pretty good replica of what the real Monster is. Later on down the line, I'll do an actual video of this versus my real Monster. But for $61, that's a pretty darn nice Homage watch. Sapphire crystal. I mean, the real Monster only has a hard Lex. This has a sapphire. Screwed on crown. This has knurling on it. Let's do some dimensions here. Make sure my .41, .13.6. Lug to lug we have you might as well say 48, 47.9, 48. This is the band that it came on. It came on the silicone band. It's a decent silicone band. I'm not a big fan of silicone bands. I will more than likely strap this out. I have one leftover band from a watch that I think I'm going to put on here. I believe it'll fit. If not, then I'll put this silicone back on. But this is a pretty darn nice watch. This has an NH36 in it. There is no Cyclops window for this, like on the real Monster, but that's okay. I feel like this bezel is slightly off. As you can see, they don't line up. Not a big major deal, because this was only $61. This does have drilled lugs. Pretty good watch for $61. I decided to go with this red dial. Thought, let me change up what I normally buy and get something different. And pretty good watch. There were some variations in the hands aren't exact, the dial isn't exact, but it's a pretty close approximation of what a real Monster looks like. Okay, so I was digging around in my drawer real quick, and I don't have a stainless strap that's going to fit this right now. So I'll have to keep it on this silicone band for now. I'll order one at a later date. I said the bezel feels good, but it is slightly misaligned. I can actually be okay with that, because here's the bottom line. I know what I paid for my real Seiko Monster versus this. I could literally buy six of these Tandorio Monster Homage watches for what one real Monster cost. Don't think you can beat that with a stick. There's an excellent fit and finish on this. It's all polished. Little brushed right here, but the sides are polished. Good finish on it. I have been extremely impressed with Tandorio watches. I really didn't plan on buying this one just yet, but I had it in my cart and I saw it was on sale. And every Tandorio watch, for those of you that purchase off AliExpress, I've always been able to use my coins and get a little bit more of a discount on these. So I ended up getting this for $61 and some change. I think it was $61.77 if I remember correctly. Hell of a deal. Let me throw a Lume shot in here and see how this thing does. So I'm just going to do the Lume shot right here. Believe it or not, I got all my solar watches sitting on the window ledge in the room that I usually do them at. But here we go. The initial impression of this Lume is, wow. I think I will actually do a time lapse and see how long it holds. I wish it was a little darker in this room, but That is what it is. I feel like the lume on this is pretty good considering the price point on the watch. And whenever I do reviews on watches, I always consider the price point. You know, this is a sub $100 watch. This is a sub $75 watch. So this is a pretty nice watch for the price point. And when it comes to Tandorios, it seems like some of them have decent looms, some of them have really crappy loom. I think it's all when they go through that production line. You know, maybe they're using some leftover stuff from something else they were working on. But these are solid watches for the money. A little disappointed with the misalignment of the bezel, but for $61, I can overlook that. I'm not real upset with that. Kind of luck of the draw. I'm sure some of them are better, some of them are worse. This is really the first Tandorio I've got that had any kind of QC issue, any kind of quality control issue. They've all been solid watches. The bezel is almost identical to my Seiko. You know, these are all, this isn't just painted on, this is, these indentations are actually in the bezel and then filled with paint. I'm assuming that's paint. I really doubt that that's ceramic. That's probably just black enamel paint. But this watch is a pretty solid performer for $61. Okay, I think that's it.